Benjamin Dean and LaCorey Tate those police officers right there were responding to a routine traffic stop. Somebody was speeding. By the end of the encounter, they both lay alongside the road. They would eventually die. This morning, 4 people are facing charges, including, for 2 of them, capital murder.
Yep. Marvin Banks, 29, 22-year-old. Joni Calloway, also, they're facing the same charges, 2 counts of capital murder. Curtis Banks has been charged with 2 counts of accessory after the fact of capital murder. And a 4th suspect came out crying. Cornelius Clark, 28, charged with obstruction of justice.
Yeah, and Marvin Banks, relation to Curtis Banks, also charged with being a felon in possession of a firearm and grand theft for fleeing in the police cruiser in that moment.
So wait a second. So they shoot him. They gun down. Tate comes with backup, correct? And they've killed both of them. One lay there dying. They take the police cruiser
as a getaway vehicle.
But yet we still don't even know the motive, correct?
You know what it sounds like? It sounds like a couple of felons had guns in the car, and that's illegal, and maybe they freaked out, don't know, but both the officers were killed in cold blood. They are, and this is a very sobering statistic, officers Dean and Tate are the 39th and 40th American police officers who have been killed in the line of duty this year alone.
So far, and you know, you look at, this is horrible, 126 officers were killed in 2014, and that jumped up from 2013 when 76 officers, still too many, were killed then. So an increased statistic, and now you're looking at the 40th officer killed this year.
And if you don't mind, I just want to add a little bit on the life of Officer Benjamin Dean. This guy is he's a K-9 officer primarily, but he's also previously Officer of the Year. And then when you hear about 25-year-old LaCorey Tate, his dream was to help out the black community, and his dream his whole life had to be a police officer. And here he is providing backup, and he loses his life that way.
I was impressed when you look at the leadership there in the reaction. Mayor Johnny Dupree, along with Governor Phil Bryant, they both asked people to pray. They said to keep in mind the officers that protect both those there in Mississippi and across the nation, and to pray for officers across the nation.
The mayor will be with us later.
In the palm of God's hand.
There's going to be a memorial event later today in Hattiesburg. Also, they are going to have their initial court appearances later today. Meanwhile, shortly after these 2 police officers were murdered, somebody who apparently works at a Subway, a woman by the name of Sierra McCurdy, she put up on social media, I believe it was on her Facebook page, she wrote this: 2 police officers was shot in Hattiesburg tonight, and then some crying emojis, and then a skeleton emoji, and then you can see at the end 3 revolver emojis. Got him.
Awful.
Then she started taking some flack online, and she doubled down and she said, we can turn this bleep into Baltimore real quick. Police take away innocent people's lives every day now and get away with it. Bleep them, no mercy.
So it had everyone losing their appetite there listening to that, and then had Subway about to lose a ton of business. People got online viral and started asking for boycotts of the sandwich shop, saying, look, if you're not going to get in there and correct what this person said or do something about it, we're going to assume that you stand by her words.
You know what she said, though? She told her manager, said, did you put that out there? And she said, my phone was stolen. Subway didn't buy it. She got canned.
Well, here's the problem. I mean, this is one thing is pretty consistent. I mean, you've got a huge problem in this country with the inner city, their perception, and how it seems to be getting out of control. It's now almost in vogue to criticize cops, police officers, as if their objective is to oppress those they're supposed to save on a daily basis. I don't ever remember a time like this before.
It's supposed to and do. I mean, for the most part, right, we're looking at statistics where a number of lives are saved each and every day by law enforcement, and when you see someone like this just in there working, tweeting out these comments, at least Subway jumped in and did something about it.
They did the right thing.
Let's just look at the dueling images for a second. Look what happened in New York. You had thousands of police, 10 deep, show up from around the country to put to rest a 25-year-old officer who was shot in Queens, New York. At the same time, the week before, you see hundreds, maybe thousands in the street rioting, blowing up their neighborhoods because of the officers. There's 2 dueling pictures with equal intensity going on.
There's a problem. It needs to be fixed.
It sure does. We're going to have more on this morning. In the meantime, we're going to say good